Ever wonder how it felt to fly a helicopter or skydive in the Grand Canyon? Or better yet, ride an amazing roller coaster that turns your stomach? Now, can you imagine doing all this from the comfort of your own home? Well, with virtual reality, or VR for short, you can do all of this with just a press of a button. VR has been in development since the beginning of the 21st century. Once we had computers with visual displays, we began development of early VR. Today, I'll provide you a better understanding of the past and the present of VR, and most importantly, I'll give you a glimpse into the future and the endless possibilities VR has. VR began development in 1957 with the creation of the Sensorama, a very primitive version of VR that used an enclosed screen and a vibrating seat, but it was virtual reality nonetheless. We did not get a truer version of VR until 1968 with the creation of the first head-mounted virtual reality machine. These became the basis of many arcade machines that use head-mounted displays. This was followed by the Super Cockpit, a virtual reality trainer for fighter pilots. Though VR had several large developments early on, and not yet reached the public due to the high cost of these machines and the large space they required to run. Starting in the 1990s, there was a large boom of VR development, starting with the mass production of arcade machines that used large head-mount displays and large machines to run them. I'm sure you've seen all these before in restaurants such as Chuck E. Cheese or Dave & Buster's. Later, Sega developed their own VR system, which was less bulky and more close to what we know today. It was presented at the Consumer Electronics Show. However, after Sega showed this, they stopped development completely. Soon after this, in 1995, the first home VR system was created by Nintendo. It was called the Virtual Boy, but the system was considered a flop because the technology was not yet there and it was too expensive to buy. Development after this was slow, with VR only popping up here and there over the next several years, but finally, in 2010, the first commercially available virtual reality headset became available to the public, and it was called the Oculus Rift. However, it was very expensive to most people and was designed for developers making things for virtual reality and not for the general public. But today, there are several models of VR headsets available to the general public, and every year the technology advances. Currently, VR is mostly used for playing video games and other sources of entertainment, but it is still used heavily in training for fighter pilots, and remarkably, now VR has found its way into the medical industry. Doctors are using it to treat conditions such as PTSD, agoraphobia, Alzheimer's, and autism, to name a few. In a study by University of Washington and UW Harborview Burn Center, it showed that full immersion VR for those undergoing physical therapy after skin grafts acted as a distraction and subsequently reduced the pain levels for the patients. In the future, VR will be implemented to more and more things. The uses of VR are nearly endless, whether it is used for training fighter pilots in the Air Force or allowing doctors to perform life-saving surgery from across the world, or better yet, allowing the common person to experience gaming with more intensity and realism. VR is on its way to make it happen. The potential for VR is simply limitless. As technology develops, it may even come to the point where VR and the real world are virtually indistinguishable. Can you imagine putting it on a lightweight suit filled with microchips and sensors and turning on your VR headset at home and squeezing a controller in your hand to initiate a walk on the moon in your living room that included like the smells of space and the motionless feeling on your arms and legs? VR will make your future dreams come true. Get ready.